Hello, hello. Oh my god. Hello, friends. What an excruciatingly boring week. I've done nothing this week. I've played some trucking game. I bought American Trucking Simulator because it's on cheap, and I've been playing it. I've been driving through the beautiful California and delivering Walmart goods. Because why not? No Trovo, no. I'll give a brief update on the Trovo situation for those interested, because I was curious. When I was banned, I was given no reason. I was not emailed, and there was no reason present when I logged into Trovo to try and figure out what the fuck happened, right? So I've been complaining in their Discord for a while, saying like, hey, this is real fucking weird. You guys aren't communicating. I've tried talking to devs. I've tried, sending in email support tickets. What's going on? And nobody's emailed me. Nobody replies to anything. The people who used to reply to me when I was asking for my URL stopped replying to me. So something happened. And I was told by someone who was like a junior moderator that according to the logs, I was banned, and there was no reason given for the ban for 24 hours. But he said that he had been in my chat, because apparently I'm like a top streamer just by being there. And he said that it was very problematic with some racist language, and I am responsible for my chat. So if I get banned, it's because of what you guys said, which is just ridiculous. YouTube doesn't even fucking do that. YouTube does not sit there and look at your chat and go, oh my god, they're saying such terrible things, we have to deal with this immediately. Like, YouTube doesn't care, and that's incredible. It's really disappointing that this company decided, let's be like Twitch. Let's offer nothing that Twitch doesn't have. The only thing that they have that Twitch doesn't have is their Trovo 500 thing, where they pay you extra money for being successful in their platform. But even if you're already a successful streamer on Twitch, moving over to Trovo, you're probably going to lose a huge chunk of that audience, and all you're going to do is replenish that income that you're losing by showing up on Trovo. You know what I mean? So it's just crazy. I'm not gonna, like, there's no point even trying, because if I'm gonna be held liable for shit that you guys are saying, it's like there's no fucking point. DLive did do shit like that, but DLive only cared about what you were saying when they wanted to get rid of you anyways. You know what I mean? They only use that as an excuse on the books to say that they had justification to ban you, and really they were just looking for a reason. YouTube doesn't give a shit, so YouTube is the winner by default. Because I can mind what I say. If YouTube says don't do this, which they don't, but my channel is so small and I delete my streams, it doesn't cause much issue, and I'm not monetized. And I think that's really the big thing with YouTube, is that they don't give a fuck as long as you're not monetized. When I started doing super chats and I started doing ads I got banned last time for running ads. After starting to run ads on old live streams, they weren't like intrusive mid-roll ads, but I did put banners, and that's when they banned me. And I think that's it. It's as long as you don't put ads on your shit, they don't give a fuck. You can say whatever you want on YouTube, and they're not inclined to care unless it causes problems. So YouTube is the winner by default. The other one, I can't be asked to deal with the politics of these small platforms, because they're all ran by like insane people who try to pretend to be professional. Like, there's this quasi-professionalism about these small streaming platforms where they're like, we're a serious business. We're real competitors to Twitch and YouTube Live, guys. we have our community rule books and we follow them very seriously, and you're going to do it this way, and or you're not going to be able to participate in this beautiful little community that we have. And it's just bullshit. They're fucking retards. I feel bad for anyone who has to rely on places like Trovo and DLive to get their checks, because they're not sustainable. And they're a very uneven and unpredictable place to make your bed. Not saying that YouTube is a safer place, but it is. At least it's big. At least I know when I stream on YouTube that I show up in recommendations. People who, the fucking thing listens to everything you say. I start talking about Amberlynn. People watching detractor videos might see the streams as recommended and listen. And I'm assuming that most people find out about these streams because they're browsing other drama videos online and they get suggested these streams, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I imagine that's where it comes from. You can't, that's the main thing. You can't really build an audience in your own little bubble, right? There's only so much you can do when you're deplatformed. So for the time being, until such a time where true competition exists, the only way to really get your word out and to talk to people and to find new people to listen to what you have to say, you have to kind of fight and deal with the current reality. And the current reality is that YouTube and Twitch are like the only places where anyone gives a fuck about what you about listening to people, And the little streams don't even want to compete, and they're immediately going to like break like a twig and say like, oh, you can't say things in chat, because and to be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if Trovo doesn't give a fuck, and the only reason why they're afraid of bad words in chat is that they could result in their payment processors being taken down, whereas Amazon and Google don't have to worry about payment processors be taken down, because they're Amazon and Google. They don't give a fuck. Payment processors are not going to get rid of Google or Amazon, because if they do that, they have a serious fucking issue, because Google and Amazon are going to get payment network reform if they get Z-lined and somehow can't make money all of a sudden. Trovo does have to be a little bit more careful. I left a special note in my notes, and I was trying to scrap together some stuff to talk about just to take up an hour. It might be a little bit short, forgive me if it is, because really there hasn't been that much going on. But I made special note in my little notepad, building up to the stream, to play this clip. And I apologize in advance if I've already played this clip, but I'm going to play it again because it's very funny to me.
Cat says meow. Thank you for that.
I'm going to play it again.
Cat says meow. Thank you for that.
I don't know what it is about this clip, but Nick Fuentes' face when he is done reading.
Cat says meow. Thank you for that.
Because I think what happens is he's just doing a super chat shit, and he looks at the sentence, and like his eyes glaze over it, and his brain doesn't pick up any red flags, and then it proceeds to the second level of consciousness where he actively has to read the sentence.
Cat says meow.
And he says it. Cat says meow. And now it's kicked into the forefront of his brain. He's like, my subconscious analyzed that sentence, and it wasn't intimidating to me at all. There was no threat in the sentence. I then read the sentence. And now that I've read the sentence, it kicks into the brain, and it says, wait, what did he mean by that? And you can see in real time on his face that he he internalizes it as a deep-seated insult that actually gets to him. It's just very obvious on his face. I don't know if he's like trying. There's no way he's trying to play that up as a joke. It's so subtle. The cat says meow thing. Look at it. Just look at. I'm right. I'm right.
Cat says
normal Nick Fuentes just reading super chats.
Meow.
Confusion as he tries to digest what it says. Realization that it's actually an insult, and he read it. Very, very, just very kino, I guess, as they would say. Very quinoa, as the French would say. Okay. So the first Well, Kino and Cyrillic, very comfy. A micro expression. I like that. Okay, so I tweeted about this, but it's funny. And like I said, it's a slow week, so I'll talk about it because it's funny. Ralph started up a Telegram channel, and there's more that happened to Ralph. Maybe I should talk about that first. There's not really much to say about it. He had a, if you don't know, Ralph is currently entangled in the criminal justice system of Virginia, and he is out on bail. He is charged with unlawful dissemination of a sensitive image, particularly, I believe, of his girlfriend, and he essentially is being charged with revenge pornography. And on the 3rd, he had a hearing at the local court regarding the issue, and I believe that the only determination made at that was that it should be held at juvenile and domestic abuse court. So that, I think that's the only outcome of that hearing. It's hard to say because I don't think we had anyone at the court. But for some reason, Ralph tweeted out about that being a win in his on his Twitter account. He's like, "Thank God my enemies are so fucking stupid." And it's not like the case got thrown out, as far as I can tell. And as far as I can tell, it wouldn't be up to Faith or Matthew Vickers to decide what court is heard at anyways. Like, that's the state. So maybe the prosecuting attorney assigned it to one courthouse, and now they moved it to another. So I mean, he's not in jail right now. I guess that's something to be happy about, but it's a very, very strange victory lap to run. But it continues. After, I think this is after his epic win in the court system, he decided to take a peek at my Fediverse account. Of course, my Fediverse account is Josh at kiwifarms.cc, which you should all sign up for right now. And you can get, let me pull this up actually, because I didn't pull up the actual post itself, just him quoting it. Now, actually, I said that Josh at kiwifarms.cc was my Fediverse account. I'm actually lying. That's some random account that I've never seen before. Has nothing to do with me. And I say that because this is the post being quoted here. And trust me, I would love to read this for you. But as I say, we live in an imperfect world where certain things you have to cope. You have to cope and seethe and dilate about the political realities of our world. So, make it nice and big for everyone. This is the message that this Josh at kiwifarms.cc account made. And I thought it was funny. You know, just impartially looking at this as a neutral third spectator, I thought this copy pasta was very funny, and I appreciated it for what it was. Now, Ralph, being of course more of a liberal, more politically sensitive, I want you. Is it gone? No, it's not gone. Why do you guys always do that? You always scare me. I'm sorry, I broadcast with a VPN on. So sometimes there's a little bit of a fucking hiccup. You're just going to have to deal with it. Oh my god. They're freaking out in the chat. We're losing brain cells. I'll have to pin this. That's right. You can't delete my streams. I think it's a weekly occurrence now where you guys all freak out that my streams have been deleted, and there's nothing wrong. It's just my proxy dropping out, I guess. I could disable the proxy, but that's against internet credo. Okay, to continue my story, my delightful story. Ralph. No, well, this is the great turning point. We have to make sure that everyone gets back in before. Here, should I play some music? I'll play some elevator music while we wait for everyone to refresh and continue with the story. All right. Well, we got some nice music to listen to as everyone presses F5 on their keyboard. Okay. For real, please stop spamming. That's really annoying. I'm I'm gonna have to put you guys in timeout so that everyone can read. Everyone can read the beautiful chat. Okay. Now, as I said, Ralph put this out on his Telegram, and he said, like, this is really an issue here. We've got a problem. I want you guys to guess how his community at large reacted to him saying that this post right here, this one is an issue. Was it well received? Was it poorly received? Can I can't abort the mad at the internet? Yeah, right. it's been aborted many times, I'm afraid. Okay, that's right, Easy Phone. I turned the audience as the heel turn, as they would say, in the wrestling aficionado community, which of course I'm a big part of. I love wrestling. My favorite my favorite wrestler is the Stardust. Zay Zim are my favorite wrestler. They were a champion in a minor league amateur wrestling community, but after watching the Stardust, I got really big into wrestling. So I said it's based, basically. I'm not paraphrasing here, but he had a bit of an issue because he forgot that Ralph forgot that he like bootstrapped his own audience by being an internet racist, and I don't know how you forget that. I guess he has to kind of, I don't know how I guess he just assumed that everyone would hate everything that I say, no matter what it is, right? So he had to backtrack because people were like, there's nothing wrong with this. And he said, anyone defending Moon's post like he himself is doing now is a goddamn moron. Someone just commented Fed talk, and that pretty much sums it up. It's not even the N-word issue. It's a literal caricature of hate speech bullshit the media pushes. A hate speech minstrel show, which, you know what? I usually don't know what I'm going to call my episodes before I'm done, but it might be a hate speech minstrel show. I guess I shouldn't put hate speech directly in the title because it does go to iTunes and shit. I'll call it something like, what's the opposite of freeze? Like, you know, you got free speech and then freeze peach. What would be a good, someone think of a good food term for hate speech like that? Grape speech, maybe. Anyways. Undoubtedly, the rantings of an unhinged man who has nothing of value in real life. And then he also re-telegrammed, he forwarded from Fed Post in real life. I find the smooth brain take even more offensive than the racism. It's obvious that Josh is talking about mainstream media and politics, which anyone with a brain, even non-racist, can recognize is controlled by a small group of elites and is not culture. I mean, I don't know. I haven't lived in the U.S. since like 2018, 2017. But I'm pretty sure the NFL has been and the Super Bowl were the largest events throughout my entire childhood. I remember my mom was a big Washington Redskins fan, and that was a huge fucking deal every time that the Redskins were playing. And it's not like anyone playing for the Washington Redskins is fucking white. I don't see how. I mean, rap. Last time I was driving through the U.S., almost all the songs were rap except for fucking Michael Bublé, who I don't know if he's French. He has a Frenchy name. I mean, I recognize that there's probably a lot of people who aren't completely inundated by it, but the copy pasta, for in case you don't know, it's just a copy pasta that I found funny. It is right. It really is like a nonstop worship of black people in the U.S. I'm sure it's not everyone, or even all the time, but it is pretty, especially right now. You can't tell me that things aren't worse right now. Anyways, that's all I have to say about that. I found it funny that he very seriously misjudged his own audience, trying to dunk on me for something stupid, you know, like a fucking Telegram or Fediverse post. This was also funny. If you don't know, SpaceX launched a very fucking expensive rocket, a massive science and astronomical engineering project, billions of dollars of precise machinery launched into the air, and then it turned and plunged deep into the earth and exploded in a fiery inferno. Would you guys like to guess? Would you guys like to guess what all that Freudian imagery reminded Ralph of? Would you like? That's right, wholesome. Would you like to guess what the rocket reminded Ralph of?
Flip looks like they lost a piece there.
Let's see what this
the landing at the end looks like they're just trying to. Oh, and then it just doesn't. Oh, that looked like Josh Moon's penis. Oh no, just completely.
Oh no!
I thought the problem was that it didn't explode on landing.
Oh no, it just falls. Oh, shout out to the fan club. We love them. Let's see. Still Presidente. Did I read that? Oh, yeah.
Wait, okay. I didn't watch this half.
Wait, is this an old clip of him? I guess
I watched that second clip because someone said there's something funny. Can you imagine watching history? He was watching history and thinking about my penis again. That's very weird. I've been molested by a lot of weird things, like people saying weird things about me on the internet. That's pretty fucking weird. That'd be like, I mean, I don't know. He does it everywhere he goes. He goes to the fucking he goes to Washington D.C. He goes to riots, and he gets a megaphone and he talks about my penis to like a crowd of random fucking people who have no idea who he is and have no idea who I am. And he's just ranting about me, and not even me. He's not saying like, "Don't go to Kiwi Farms; it's a bad website." He's like talking about my dick. Why? that's a little bit fucking weird, to be honest with you, chat. A little bit fucking weird. Actually, I want to see what the second half of this clip is. Why did they clip so much of it?
Last night he was calling out LeBron. There was an incident with LeBron on Monday. Monday night in Atlanta. Did you see this, Gator?
No, I haven't seen this yet.
Uh-oh. Now, I know it's sports ball, but that's not why I brought it up. There was an altercation on the court with LeBron and this woman who says this.
So, I'm minding my own business, and Chris has been a Hawks fan forever. He's been watching the games for 10 years, whatever. He has this issue with LeBron. I don't have an issue with LeBron. I don't give a fuck about LeBron. Anyway, I'm minding my own business, drinking my having fun. All of a sudden, LeBron says something to my husband, and I see this, and I stand up and go, "Don't fucking talk to my husband." And he looks at.
Why did they clip this much of it? Who am I banning for clipping? It ended at 45 seconds, and then I had to listen to this bitch talk for another 45 fucking seconds, and I feel like I've wasted my life, and whoever clipped this deliberately wasted my fucking time. Okay, whatever. Okay, I'm done with Ralph, for now, at least. So, here's an interesting follow-up to last week in regards to Shoe on Head, because as I mentioned, after the whole Kingfisher thing, the real issue for June was that after that, number one, her simps have seen her naked now, so they're going to be less enchanted with her, I believe. At least some of them. And number two, she got caught up in this guy who was like Nazbol, right? So her trying to scooch up to Vaush and his audience is going to have a setback now because of that association. And in particular, this massive expose written by a tranny, basically just saying, Shoe on Head, the left's red-brown queen of simps. And red-brown is a reference to Nazbol. And she even calls her June Lapine, which is kind of doxy, I guess, but whatever. She's a fascist, right? She's a fascist, so it's okay. And this training has written, the 13-minute read from 2 days ago. You can take this, and I'm just going to scroll very slowly, just so you can appreciate how fucking long this expose is. I'm not even like halfway through. So much of it. And it's just like saying, yeah, she's two-faced. She fucking... That's a funny meme. The populism bag. She's like... her being violent. Her saying that the evidence that she was hooking up with the Kingfisher, using quotes from Poland shit. All the memes she posted about family and shit. And it doesn't matter, like, to people like us, we don't care. But guilt by association is like an extremely important thing to cancel culture in the left. So this person, this Kayla Labyrinth, which is the most tranny name to ever be devised ever. It's worse than Jim Stephanie Sterling. $3.3 billion a year to Israel while we're fighting tooth and nail for a fucking criminal stimulus check. Money is made up. Shu hates Israel and uses our greatest ally, literal Nazi joke. Right there, fucking cancel her. Get her out of my fucking sight. This disgusts me. So, I mean, I wanted to say that the digging is happening on both sides. Here we have people from Valsh's community who are very upset that this person, who is popular, but is also whatever the fuck she thinks is going to sell the best at that current time, trying to side into their community and be friendly with Valsh. And it's working for the most part, right? And on our side, we get to have fun because someone did some probing into June's history, and they found something that was pretty interesting, and I'm going to go over it real quick. If you don't know, she's from I think she's Sicilian, and she's literally from New Jersey, right? So this picture is great just because I love how she looks like she's from the Jersey Shore. Like there is at least a 90% chance, based on when this picture was taken and when the Jersey Shore was being filmed, that she has fucked the situation. I'm gonna give that a roundabout 90% chance. And if you don't know who the situation is, that's too bad. I'm not gonna explain it, but 90% chance for those of you who do know that she has fallen for the situation. Snooki. Snooki's awesome. Hey, if I'm just saying that if she and Snooki stood side by side, Snooki would be the small bean in that situation. Snooki has more of a claim to small bean than June does. Okay, this is from, I want to say 2014. It's a couple years old, but it's funny, so I'm going to read it. Let me get a sip of water, actually. It says 2012 there, so keep in mind this is quite old, but it's really cringe, so I'm going to read it. June says, and remember, fuck it. Gather round, children of the internet, little I internet. First strike right there. Because I'd like to tell you a little tale about friendship, trust, and neckbeard faggots. Once upon a time, around the summer of June 2012, to be exact. And just keep in mind that this is going to be like... the way I described it when I first heard it was, she's trying to write like a Tolkien fan fiction with like weird, fluffy words. And then she's also trying to like tell a real story that happened. So it's like a very like... difficult read. Once upon a time, around the summer of June 2012, four good friends from the lowercase I internet planned to meet up in Cancun, a beautiful place full of free food, gorgeous beaches, and regret. When the four friends met up, everything was going great. They had many laughs and bonded over drinks and inside jokes till the sun came up. Around this time, however, one of these so-called friends remembered that partying and having a good time was not like him at all. No. This was not his life. His life was dedicated to a dying, irrelevant image board. His life was gathering information like a slimy snake and showing it off to his other slimy snake friends via lowercase I internet. His life was pathetic. The creeper snuck into one of his friend's room while she was not there. The friend he had intense growing feelings for. The friend who told him she just wanted to stay friends. The friend that told him, no, I don't want to go to dinner with you. And yet, he still made reservations for two. He snuck into that friend's room and went through all her personal belongings. There, he found her cellular device. That's a phone. In case you're ESL and you don't know what a cellular device is, that's a phone. She could have just said phone. But this is for the Tolkien universe. She has to explain this in a way that the Hobbit could understand. By now, you may be thinking, what the fuck? Well, sit down, it gets better. He then proceeded to look through her private photos, messages, and who knows what else. And like the creepy, slimy faggot he is, started snapping pictures of said private photos with his own phone. What he just saw might be classified information for now, but I do know that he was feeling at the time jealousy, hatred, and most of all, embarrassment about the size of his own penis. So when he was finally satisfied with whatever information he quickly sucked up, he wiped the tears from his eyes, cleaned off the Cheeto dust from his friend's phone keyboard, and left the room, trying not to get any of the spaghetti falling from his fanny pack onto her floor. A few days later, after more fun times and more rejected romantic advancements, the creeper decided to go down to the bar one afternoon while all three friends stayed up in the hotel room and ordered more fatty, delicious steak sandwiches and rubbery chicken nuggets. Suddenly, the girl could not find her cell phone. The three friends looked everywhere for it. She started to assume the cleaning ladies took it. Base. Where the balls could it be? She frowned. Suddenly, they heard vibrating that sounded like it was coming from the girl's room, but alas, no phone in there. They checked both rooms, tore everything apart, yet could still hear the phone vibrating. Suddenly, it hit them. The phone is in the ceiling, so with ease, the tall friend opened the small square vent, and there it was, the girl's cell phone. Confused and aroused with anger. That's a weird sentence, by the way, on its own. Confused and aroused with anger. She's like so angry. She's like, her like thighs are like clenched together for whatever. Like for some reason, it really turns her on to be pissed off and confused at the same time. She automatically know who did it. The jealous, bitter beta. Who was too busy being an attention whore and pretending to get drunk because she was finally able to get lowercase I internet and talk to her boyfriend that day. The friends kept quiet when the drunk, smelly walrus entered the room. The girl pulled out her cell phone and started to text, pretending as if it was nothing. Then the walrus noticed, hung his head in shame, and muttered, I think I'm going to be sick. Not from alcohol, though, which is a sentence that people say. The trip ended and everything seemed to be going fine until a few months later the girl heard from a little birdie about the faggot's faggotry. So you see, kids, don't trust creepy stalkers because in the end they will always be creepy stalkers until they die, surrounded by a puddle of their own tears and shit, hugging their computer monitor. Ah, that felt good. This is like a reply on our message on Twitter after this was posted. Ah, that felt good. C:. I'm not talking about G-Master Red. I love him, 3. You mad? Yes, you are. Stay mad, fat ass. Eat shit and die, faggot. Yes, I'm mad, and I have every right to be. Have fun living a life of loneliness and memory, you sad, pathetic waste. Thinking people are your friends when they're really just bitter, blood-sucking leeches. Fat, ugly leeches. I hope you're right on period of tears and obesity, creepy, jealous faggot. She's talking about this guy, I'm pretty sure. They went to Cancun together, and if you don't know the story, he wanted to fuck her, and she said no. So he was the one who originally leaked her nudes, I'm pretty sure, by taking pictures of shit on her phone. And that's like the first nude leak that she had was this guy. And I just want to share that because I thought it was really cringe. The whole way that she wrote it. And the weird, like, RAR X3 shit at the end. So that's a brief review. What's this picture? Oh, okay. And this is just an aside. The thing that happened more recently that's interesting is this. This guy named Andrew Amir, age 27, lost to gun violence on September 27th, 2020 in St. Louis, Missouri. He died during a carjacking. He was shot and killed. He's a Black Lives Matter activist, and June happens to know him. But yet, as far as I'm aware, there is no mention of this man on her timeline or anything. As you can see here, she replied to this post by Blue Bandit Theon, who is the same guy, saying, "In my girlfriend's room," and she's like, "Oh wow, would you guys like to guess? Would you guys like to guess why Sean did not pay tribute to the dead friend? Would you like to take a guess? Why she didn't even mention that this poor young man of color lost his life and that they knew each other, and she didn't mention it at all? She a fake friend, jogger because he's gay, fash, gun violence. He leaked her nudes? No, that was the fat white guy who leaked her nudes. Because he supports Black Lives Matter? No, she supports Black Lives Matter. So I'm pretty sure it's because this is her ex-boyfriend. And she, even though she's now a lefty small bean uwu, she can't have the simps know that she has burned the coal. Because she knows, even though she's now lefty, that would reduce her market value to her simps. And she can't have people know that she dated this guy. I love that, by the way, because you know that even though June needs the money and needs the attention, and she holds conservative family values, I guess, and she's embarrassed about her history as being a Guidette from the Jersey Shore who allegedly sucked the situation's dick and fucked this guy for money. And she can't have her simps know, because they would stop giving her Patreon money. It's good that she won't have kids. Hey, you never know, man. She could hook up with Vaush, become the primary girlfriend of his polycule, and live happily ever after. That's a card that's literally on the table. There's no way that could go wrong. Why was I banned from Coinbase? I don't know, but they won't. If you try to send me money from a Coinbase account, you will get your Coinbase account banned. So if you want to use Coinbase to send me coins, you have to send them to yourself first, and then you can send them to whoever you want. Don't use Coinbase as a primary wallet. Always have access to your private keys. Yes, Vaush was the one who couldn't fast travel because monsters were nearby. What about Frontier? I tried looking into that, the Frontier, and I do have another thing before we wrap up. I tried looking into Fallout Frontier. I've made the determination that I don't know enough, and it would take a lot of effort to cover that. So if next week is slow, I promise I will do Fallout Frontier. I may even do it extra, but it's still like ongoing shit's happening, so I'm gonna wait for that to settle before I dig into it, because it is a lot of work to prepare for that. Coinbase is fat, yes it is. TNO, that's actually it. That's what I have next. I would like to introduce you guys to a concept of the New Order, I believe it's called. I can't believe I forgot what the acronym stands for. But here's the gist. If you don't know what Hoi 4 is, it's Hearts of Iron 4. It's a Paradox game. It's one of those games where you just paint maps, right? And it takes place during World War II, but there are a lot of mods for it. Another popular one is Kaiserreich, where what if Germany had won World War I? And it tries to set out a 1930s scenario where Ukraine is independent and all sorts of weird stuff, where what if Germany had won the First World War? This mod is a little bit different. It takes place, I think, in like the 1960s, 1970s, and it asks the question, what if Germany won the Second World War? And that's an interesting question. I don't know if Hearts of Iron 4 is the best game to answer that question, because Hearts of Iron 4 is very specifically a World War II game, and it would be hard to replicate Cold War conditions in Hearts of Iron 4. But a bunch of developers got together. In particular, one person who is the face of the mod, and they've tried to answer that. Would you like to guess what the issue with their development system is? Would anyone like to wager a guess at what obstruction has occurred that is causing a complication for their development cycle? Now, I'll give you guys a head start. Troons. That's right, gamers. The answer is people like this, who, and this is the really, really, really weird thing about this mod, is that here you have a question of what if the Axis had won World War II, and it's being answered by people who are far left communist trannies, which is just fucking weird, because I can't imagine how they can even speculate on that. Like they're trying to envision a world that they would hate, that they don't support, that they wouldn't be allowed to live in, and they have to, try and figure out years down the line, like what the Cold War would look like in this time frame, in this timeline. And it's all fantasy, but you would try to base that off historical speculation, off perhaps even documents and statements and manifestos based off people from the Axis, but that's not the case here. There's no love for any of that, so it would be a very difficult project for them to do, because their hearts are not in it, right? And unlike with Hoi 4, the actual game, it's not based off history either. You're not looking at things that almost happened or did happen and try and elaborate off that with a historical perspective. It's all fantasy. So that's why people like this end up as generals in what appears to be a anarcho-communist general for a post-Axis win Europe, right? And what happened is that their GitLab got exposed, and a bunch of developer-only content was leaked out, and a lot of people got doxxed, and now it's kind of falling into disarray. And this post went to the trouble of highlighting a lot of comments that were being left by developers and other members of the development team to each other in regards to how they felt about the project. And I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a lot of weird shit that immediately sticks out. A lot of this is reading, so let me get another drink of water. And it will become immediately apparent that that there's an issue with priorities in this. As a team lead, I feel like a glorified custodian. Devs make decisions without me. A quarter of my administration was developed in secret, and I got knowledge of it only in secretly formulated questions. I feel as though I'm not trusted, and as though my only duty, task, and even work is to just collect reports once every week. There is no transparency between the developers and team leaders beyond the occasional cases we get involved in roundtables. We're referred to as foot soldiers, which I thought was a joke, but ultimately it seems like we're really effectively disposable report collectors, and not to be involved in the creative and administrative process beyond that. As a team leader, I get next to no feedback on reports and concerns listed in them until the very last minute. This leads to doubts if they were ever even read or checked. And my complaint would be about the organization of works and teams. It happens that there are entire weeks with absolutely no work given, when in other weeks there were an entire focus tree or mechanic to do in little time. The team management is important and not easy, and seeing the big picture also is. I think that team leads and devs should be more in touch with the number of idea guys in the teams to be able to always give a healthy amount of work, and not realizing that there's a lot of work to be done at the last moment. So right away, you see this issue of developers and team leaders, where there is a organizational flaw here, where the people who give or who guide the development don't actually contribute any development themselves. And there are issues with developers doing whatever the fuck they want. And that's what they mean by secret development. So people like this may include whatever the fuck they want in the game. And the people who are left to moderate the development and guide it are ultimately powerless. And I think that's because a lot of them don't know how to code. So you just have like friends of the main guy and friends, who don't know anything or who are just weirdos in the Discord who get put as team leaders and they don't know anything about the coding. And to be clear, in a Hearts of Iron 4 mod, there is no actual coding involved. It's hard to explain if you don't have any concept of what development is like. But in a normal development cycle, you have to write code. And with Hearts of Iron 4 and other Paradox games, you're not really writing code. You're just kind of organizing information. You start to think like, oh, I want a thing that works like this. And I know that there's another thing that works kind of like this, but I want that to be here and this part of the game, and I want it to work a little bit differently or to be more powerful. And you literally just copy over this information. You change names, you change numbers, you can group it differently, but there really isn't actually any code work being done. It's just people organizing this structured language that cannot be considered a programming language. It's just information to be fed to the engine to render a certain way. And I'm sorry if that doesn't make sense, but my point is that it's not a programming language in that you don't have to navigate certain issues that come with programming. You're mostly just spending the time required to organize things that already exist, that are already written, already developed, in such a way that they, in the actual gameplay, they work a certain way and achieve a desired result. Yeah, that's a very hard thing to put into words, but what I'm saying is they don't know how to code. None of them know how to code, and the team leaders don't do any fucking work, which is why they get shit done behind their back, because they're not actually involved in the code base. They're just sort of sitting there as a team lead, trying to corral these people who all want to do their own thing. And to be fair, they all want to do their own thing because this is something they're doing for fun. None of them get paid. It's all for free. And these quotes are about the structure and the powers of each role. This is getting too long for a comment complaint, but I'd like to add this. Make the admin structure crystal clear. Write everything that X role should and should not do, no exceptions. The current fluidity we have leaves too much to one's interpretation. That should be enforced by mods. Next one, could there be something like a one-page document that explains what each role in the team actually does? I've been here since pre-release, and I'm not entirely sure what devs and team leaders do or how they're supposed to interact. I know that devs are above team leads, but not what each of their duties actually are and what they warrant or why they warrant different roles. I feel like this could help solve some of the problems involving the transparency of chain of command in the team. So not only is it that these people don't have power over each other, not only is it that developers do whatever the fuck they want, it's not actually clear what people are supposed to be doing and what they're not supposed to be doing. And everyone seems very confused. And this is the craziest fucking thing about. I'm not going to read all of this, obviously, but I used to have a job. I want you guys to know this. I actually did once work as a wagey. I would file my fucking timesheets and I would get paid doing development work in the real world. Once upon a time, a long time ago. I think that every team needs a dev and an active one, someone who would see how development going firsthand and be the one to affect any sort of release date decision. Not all teams have got the luck to have a dev, and usually the teams that suffer the most from release days and crunch. So this backs up what I was saying before, that a lot of teams don't even have, teams are given jobs to do by whomever, and then they don't ever get to do that fucking job because none of them know what they're doing, right? They don't have a developer. and they suffer from crunch. Now, if you've ever listened to Jim Sterling, you know what crunch is because he bitches about it every fucking week. But if you don't know, in development terms at least, crunch is when boss man, like my boss used to do, would go to a conference and he would try to sell the product to people interested in buying the product. And they would say, can it do this? Can it do this? Can it do this? What about this? And my boss, of course, would always say, yes, of course it can do that. And then he would walk back from the marketing table where he had made the sale to this big company that very specifically requested if feature A, B, and C existed. And then he would come back to my the actual team leader for my development group, and he would say, we need all those features designed this month. And that's crunch, because then everyone has to very quickly figure out who's working on what and how they're going to get those features made in time for the people that he just sold the product to check and make sure that those features existed. And you would work your fucking ass off. You would work 60 hours a week. You know, you would get your overtime and everything. And then at the end, you would be tired and you would take a week off. Or do something easy that you do tech deck usually. You would just go back and fix bugs as opposed to writing new features, and you would take it easy for a little while. That's crunch, right? So the fact that these people are doing crunch for something that doesn't make money, that they do for free, is fucking weird. I would never do crunch for something that's a mod for a video game because some asshole told Reddit that he would have these features done next week. You know what I mean? So it continues. My biggest concern is the deadlines. I'm tired of seeing my teammates burn themselves out. I'm tired of seeing them cry over how many lines of code they've had to do. I'm tired of seeing them so tired. Deadlines need to be more flexible and worded far less harshly. No one should be told to get their shit together. No deadline should be final. The team needs to understand that them staying on is more important to us than getting a patch out on time. And then crunch rolls really should go. They're cool and all, but firstly, they lead to roll inflation. And secondly, I don't think we have any incentives we should have any incentives to overproduce. We already have a big issue with people feeling like they have to crunch. More things to strengthen that sentiment should not be provided. That is, as with someone with multiple crunch rolls. It really does, like why? Just say no. All you have to do is say no. I'm sorry. I'm not going to fucking do this. I have other shit to do. I'm playing fucking big rigs over the road racing right now. I'll go work on your fucking, what if Spain was anarcho-communist mod tomorrow, but for whatever reason, that's like a big part of their culture. Okay, in this, our team's dev is an idea guy who I, in my several months on the team, have never seen do any actual work except shooting down ideas, which is just great. Here's the only guy who is, from what I understand, and this is, I think, no, I'll just read this because this explains it. The current structure of developers isn't the greatest system in the world for a multitude of reasons. Obviously, I'm not saying we take out developers, but I'm saying we need a better system. Currently, the idea of having a dev being a team leader doesn't make much sense, especially when teams like Britain barely have any developer interaction. Basically, what I'm trying to say is each region team should have one developer assigned to make sure shit runs smoothly. And I think at some point they explain that the team leader does the work. The developer is the idea guy, which seems backwards. They have crunch and deadlines because they want to pretend they're real devs. I guess so. I mean, I guess when you're paid by the government to sit around and shoot HRT, you don't have to worry too much about actual deadlines and shit. And their system is just completely upside down. Pink Panther is the guy who was the lead dev for a while, and he was the one who took all the credit basically for this shit. And they're complaining about him, saying, I feel like Panzer just isn't active at all, even though he's the lead dev. Why is there no communication from him? And if he's burned out and inactive, then why is he still the lead dev? Does he have an active role administering, or does he just veto stuff and move on? I know he started the mod, but it has come far past Panzer now. Hundreds of others have put hundreds of hours into the mod. It just feels weird. I just want an answer, really. That's also common. I experienced that with the Space Station 13 shit, where the lead dev is just some fucking asshole who doesn't do anything. And all he does is shoot down ideas and remove shit that he doesn't like. So just systemic issues where these people don't fucking talk to each other. And this is also really weird. I can't even describe this because it's so fucking insane. I mentioned like the secret dev where people just did whatever the fuck they want and they got merged in. Apparently, and I don't even know how you come up with this, Reinhardt's story is causing significant trouble. In parentheses, and this is the guy posting this, he gets a redemption arc, destroys Burgundy in Germany, and kills himself after assuming power in his victory of the German Civil War after Hitler dies. Heydrich blowing up the team sounds like another case of things that are the way they are because they are that way, with no real reason to be that way. All development process should undergo the scrutiny of someone asking, is this really necessary? Ideally, it should be a dev doing it. If you don't know, Reinhard Heydrich is one of the chief people who orchestrated the Holocaust. And for some reason, in this tranny What If Axis won World War II thing, he has like a survivor's guilt or something, and then destroys Burgundy, takes over Germany, and then kills himself. I have no fucking idea how you even come up with this. That's what I mean. It's like, I think that they have an issue. This is a really far out there idea. I think these trannies have an issue telling reality apart from fantasy, and they look at historical things and real people that have happened, and they come up with fan fiction, like Nazi Holocaust fan fiction, that doesn't make any fucking sense, but they think that would be like a cute idea in their silly little game mod, and it's really baffling. Here's a guy who printed this out, and this is one of the things in the OP, actually. They made this hoodie that says Spear Hoodie, because apparently this Spear guy is a meme in the Hoey 4, the Next Order subreddit, and someone had to like remind this guy that if you print the Nazi's face on your hoodie and you walk around in public like that, someone might think you're a Nazi, and you have to be careful. If you don't know, Albert Speer was apparently the Minister of Armaments and War Production during World War II and was a close ally of Hitler. He was convicted in Nuremberg and sentenced to 20 years. But this tranny thinks that he's fucking really cool and put him on a hoodie so he can go to Walmart and buy his estrogen tablets over the counter. It's a Kekistani flag all over again. It's even worse because it's like they have like a sexualized The Hobbit version of this Albert Speer. And they have written like this diary. I just noticed that this guy's feet are in this picture. Here, I'll zoom in on this while I do my thing. But like they have like this fantasy Tolkien version of these real people who really existed and who really did things that many consider very bad. And they're putting them on hoodies because in their weird mind, they've written like fan fiction for how they like free France and kill themselves. You know what I mean? It's very bizarre. Okay, there's some stuff about that I do want to read. That one's boring. Okay, this one's great. Mystic shit relating to Discord, its moderation, and complaints about Tino's story for personal reason. Short one, the Discord should have pronoun roles. I've seen people be misgendered and have to correct others. Thanks. Thanks for that contribution. Personally, I feel like a lot of the Next Order's issues with international interaction come from how sterile the content planning is. A country has a planned story, which is all well and good, and only really properly interacts with other countries in neat time frames. This is the result of good content planning, but it isn't a good thing. It's too neat, which harms interaction between countries. Take Goring, for example. He is a militarist candidate and invades progressively larger chunks of the world. The planning is so rigid that he is being reworked because he clashes with everyone else's progression of events, but that was the intent. He invades other countries, and this clashes with their individual stories. So this is also a weird thing where you have like these myopic teams focusing on one country at a time to try, like, it's called the World War. There was a lot more going on than Britain, being English and meddling in other people's affairs as they usually do. I feel like there's a difference between plebs and team members. This is also a funny one. I saw a pleb a few months ago posting Catgirl Meinhof. You know what? I don't even know who Meinhof is, but I want to know now. Ulrike Meinhof was a West German far left. Oh, is she from the one of the first terrorists, the Battenberg mine, whatever the fuck? They did a movie about that I want to see. I bet you she is. I bet you that's who I'm thinking of. Anyways, but she's not a Nazi. That's what I was hoping for, but she's not. So Catgirl Meinhof in a meme. Now fast forward to and was told to stop in a long message. Now fast forward to today, and someone posted a Catgirl Meinhof in a meme. Moderators say nothing is wrong with it, but why? Isn't it a Catgirl Meinhof either way? I feel like team members can get away with breaking the rules, but if a pleb did the exact same thing, they would get struck down. The Bader Meinhof gang, that's what I was thinking of. She also has a sub-mod where she is a cat girl. Wonderful. She's a real person, you know. She's probably not a cat girl. Is she dead? Did she kill herself? How'd she die at 41? Oh, she killed herself. And they say that she killed herself in jail, and they say that she was assassinated by the government. Funny. Anyways, she's a cat girl in this Discord. And says, I feel like team members can get away with breaking the rules, but if a pleb did the exact same thing, they get struck down. My point is, you either need to warn both plebs and devs for doing, or warn neither. You shouldn't just warn one group. I love how they just call, like, fans of their content plebs. I guess that's better than kittens. I have an issue with the usage of suicide. I haven't brought it up because I didn't have a chance with Hadrick, given how we don't know. Oh, fuck it. Is he just going to bitch that suicide shouldn't be used as a plot device? I somewhat believe of an unhealthy environment that has built around this team. Tino is not a mod for the faint of heart, full of dark themes and horrific sights as it is, and plenty believe that making the player uncomfortable is part of what Tino does. However, as stated below, the feelings that this invokes in people goes beyond making one simply uncomfortable and can, for many, unearth genuinely horrific real-life trauma that they have directly interacted with. This is not something that we should be proud of, and is most definitely something that should be avoided, and is definitely an unhealthy mindset to express to others who have felt trauma, though it is unfortunately has been expressed. Yeah, I guess if basically what he's saying is that Hitler shouldn't have killed himself, because that would a tranny might see Hitler shooting himself in the head and then think, oh my god, I was thinking about doing that just yesterday, and now I'm so triggered. I'm so triggered by Reinhard Heydrich killing himself in this video game that even the most mentally adjusted people in the world might look at Reinhard Heydrich killing himself over the guilt of the Holocaust and think, maybe me too. Anyways. Hi everyone. It's come to our attention that raiders have gained access to the TNO Git through an unsecured GitLab account. This is as much of a private issue for the entirety of the team as it is now a public one in how it affects development, and as such, we will not be offering any further details into the incident itself due to the sensitive nature of it all. Furthermore, because of the delicacy of this situation and the very aggressive threats received against a few leaders, we have organized a method of exit for them while reorganizing current leadership to ensure everything is handled. That's a really awkward way to word that. We've assembled some exit bags. We're going to be sending them a CPAP mask and a helium tank in case this is triggering. Due to some of the material leak, a notification to law enforcement is being considered, and various moderation agencies for sites in connection to the potential leak have been notified, and the issue is being handled as soon as it crops up. If you come across this personal information being spread, please be sure to report it to TNO Moderation as well as Reddit and Discord. We will be reposting TNO at a new workshop link, which we'll be making soon. Furthermore, current invites to the server have been temporarily closed due to an incessant attempts to raid pleb chats. Thank you all so much for giving your continued understanding and patience. To which Baguette says, fuck neo-Nazis. And then that Abdul Mahid guy says, guys, just ban everyone. What is the problem? Apparently everyone's getting banned. Wait, I don't know what's in that spoiler. I'm literally going to copy this over to a different browser and see what's in that spoiler. Oh, okay. This is Pacifica. I think this is the same person that I've shown you before. I'll go ahead and read this. This is from the Pink Panzer. This is the lead dev that I mentioned before. I can no longer hear anything further than 40 feet away due to rifle rounds, and I have constant sparks in my eyes from flashbangs. I have a deep-seated anger problem from the core, hate my life monthly, and am forced to not move lest I am drowned in years of paperwork. I also cannot eat or work out in a healthy manner due to the pressure to constantly overperform when I exercise and constant binge eating from the on and off schedule. I have been both professionally... You know, spamming come to God, Josh, in chat is not going to fucking make me want to come to God. I'm just saying. Fuck off. Okay. Anyways, about this guy being PTSD'd. I have been professionally and personally humiliated by the Marine Corps and am not paid anywhere near enough to bother. Every month I have to have men both years younger and older than me act like middle schoolers and gossip and snipe and me and others, while I also do the same to others. And this is someone asking him what he'll do after this mod gets made, and it's never gonna get made. Keep working in IT, spend my free time writing and trying to learn to program. So the main dev for the next order has no idea how to program, I guess. Apply for every game writing job I can, no matter where it is, in the thin hopes of getting hired for that. If not, hopefully finish learning to program and become an indie game designer. I hate programming, but means to an end. Wow, excellent. That's a great reason to get into an industry, because you fucking hate it, but you want to make your tranny cat girl Meinhof game. The problem with writing jobs, it's so fucking hard to find any. Even in real development studios, they don't have fucking writing jobs, really. They usually buy a story from someone, and that's it. Most game programmers don't put on a ton of weight or go writing done by contracts they already have in big companies is like right out. I've been trying to find some indie project to write for years and not being able to land any. So this entire thing was like for him to get his start in like game development as a writer. Very sad. Okay, so the leaked dev chats from the Tino Discord had Freddy posting his legs, and that was the person from before. This one, I think. This is Pacifica, I think. Anyways, posted this leg shot. Actually, let's compare the feet of the spear hoodie and this. Is this the same pair of feet, chat? Kind of looks like it. Then again, all feet look the same to me. Anyways. Whoa, looks great. To which he says, that may be skirting the rules. Sorry. Oh, he's so edgy posting his femboy legs in Discord chat. I accidentally posted questionable pics in the server once. That was unfortunate. I get off to the idea of having my arms and legs be... What the fuck? I get off to the idea of having my arms and legs amputated so I can't resist. I used to have some weird ideas about cutting one of my fingers off. It went away with time. That's not it. I have intrusive thoughts. This is wiggling in pleasure on your bed and a pile of dried bodily fluids on your thighs because you're frustrated that someone doesn't literally sexually enslave you. So you're a bottom. Wow. I want to be a quadruple amputee and turn into a sex stump. And then Jungle Rat says, so you're a bottom. What was your first hint, Jungle Rat? This Jungle Rat is a man who just wanted to develop a Hearts and Iron 4 mod and does not even fucking know what this shit is. He's a massive, massive bottom, unhealthily bottom. But at the same time, I'm insanely competitive. It makes me feel bad. I feel bad for being better than others because I'm insanely bottom. But I feel bad when I'm not better than everyone at everything because I'm a perfectionist. I don't know what to do about it, really. I don't feel love, honestly. I feel sexual attraction and what can only be described as a burst of extreme friendship. This guy's a psychopath. Someone should check his fucking basement for sex stumps. So, okay, you still had to restrain yourself from attacking something, and you said you've had thoughts about attacking your family. I think the worst thing really is that they turned me on just sitting there, imagining splitting apart my classmate with a pen, and suddenly I'm wet. This guy needs to be in jail. This guy needs to be in jail. We're putting all sex stump sadists into fucking jail where they belong. This guy's insane. Okay. I didn't actually read through all these. I just saw the screenshots and like, okay, fuck it. I'll read the chat logs. It'll be funny. I have a picture I'm going to share with everyone. I'm going to put this in Discord. Our Discord right now is discord.gg/Sneed. And I invite everyone to join right now in the next 30 seconds because I'm going to send a picture to everyone. And I want everyone to see it. But I can't put it on screen. It's just going to be a secret thing between us. Okay, you ready? 3, 2, 1. That is the stump man who wants to kill people for sexual gratification, I guess. I want to read chat. Discord.gg/Sneed. I want to type your response in chat. I'm watching. I want to see it. It's discord.gg/Sneed. It's the easiest URL in the world. Are you guys like retarded? It's not invalid. Fuck off. Oh, is it? Okay, fine. Fine. That's my fault. I forgot. We lost our... You guys aren't boosting. You're not giving Tencent enough money to boost. So, we lost our Sneed URL. Here, use this one. Go to don't at me. And then react in chat. Jimson changed it, that motherfucker. I didn't know Noel liked this stuff. Fuck you. I don't see it. I'm gonna boost. I can't Sneed. I'm boosting. He's trying to show off his booba. He's trying to show off his booba to everyone. Like, look, guys, I have booba. I'm a real woman. I'm a real stump girl now. What I really like about this picture is, let me describe this for people who are only listening and are not going to see this picture. Imagine like really skinny. And I don't know what you call that when you have like a concave chest where there's like a dimple under your ribs, but really skinny, has that dimple, and then has like like an A or B cup size. I don't know bra sizes, but there is definitely booba shape, just not actual booba. It's just like a shape. It's I'll describe it like this: it's not enough booba to look like booba, but it is enough booba to get picked on in your middle school gymnasium. That's the description that I can. An AA man cup. Okay, we'll go with that. It's called Pectus excavatum, and I'm very smart. Okay, thank you. It's called booba. It's called man booba. That's the Latin term for this. I'm not showing the pic on screen. You go to the Discord, go to Don't At Me, and then look at the first image. You'll thank me later. Okay. Let us continue with this story. Well, I guess the person who gets wet looking at or thinking about killing people is not Pacific. Yeah, it's not. Okay. Pacific did want to be the stump, though. Fresh throwaway Kiwi, who has that Keanu Reeves Big Chungus avatar, says, "Hey everyone, former TNO dev here. I don't have much to add on top of what everyone else has said and shared, but I do have one interesting tidbit I felt was worthy of making an account and posting about. Pacifica has their own clicky Discord server separate from the main TNO Discord itself, which is filled to the brim with both former and current members of the dev team, as well as a few outside friends. I was a part of it for a brief time. From what I saw there, it seemed like prime grooming grounds for all sorts of debauchery, complete with the Not Safe for Work channel, where if memory serves me correctly, they would share weird sissification hypno-pornography. Sadly, I'm not in that server anymore." That's not what you say after you say that last thing, buddy. "I'm not in that server anymore, and I have no way of sharing any of this stuff, but it seems like another fresh ground for churnery outside of what people have already dug up. Figured it was worth a mention." So, that is the story of TNO. That is the story of a Hearts of Iron mod. One man on a mission to stuff his resume so he can get a writing job for a video game makes a mod for Hearts of Iron 4, which leads to tranny grooming and stump amputee sex fetishism. And somehow, can you imagine if Pacifica, here, I'll bring this up again. Here, okay. This is their Hearts of Iron 4 general portrait. I'm just imagining them as like a stump in like a general chair, like barking out orders like "Move Division 4 3 clicks north to head off the fascist menace," and they're like waving their stumps, wildly gesticulating the stumps at the cliche map on the table with the little Monopoly pieces on the board with the grid and stuff. "Move them with 3 clicks. We need to cut them off. We're going to encircle Hitler here." And they're just that's a funny image to me. I hope if someone out there is like a draw fag, please make this a reality. I'll feature it. I'll put it on the front page. Don't make it pornographic, but make it funny. I think that's it. Did I miss anything? Oh, special request. The top feeders from across the feederverse have sent me this image and asked that I mention that Amberlyn Reed has an OnlyFans now. And it brings up a lot of questions. This guy's spamming chat. He wants to hear about the Amberlyn Reed OnlyFans. Really bad, really fucking bad. So if you want more of this content, I guess subscribe to Amberlyn on OnlyFans. It's really weird because Amberlyn really thinks she's sexy, and it's horrific. It's really vile. But she's also like, she's like the most headstrong. So it's really weird that she's like the most self-absorbed person in the Fatverse, and she's also like the one willing to make the OnlyFans. So it's a question of she hasn't done anything with it, I don't think. So it's a question of like, is she actually going to like debase herself on OnlyFans? Does she has the requisite like narcissism, but she's also like shy and pretentious. So it's like, is she going to do it? Everyone on the forum is going to can't I just leak it? No, fuck off. There's nothing on it. That's the thing. The people have found it on accident, and they wonder if she's like subscribed to other stuff herself. And people think that part of the reason why she started it up is that her ex-girlfriend Destiny's girlfriend Dana has an OnlyFans, which she does legitimately. And Amberlyn is like engaged to Becky, but she's still not over Destiny at all. Like she very obvious, like she still buys shit for Destiny and tries to hang out with her as much as possible. She's so obviously a simp for her ex-girlfriend, and it's really cringe. Especially because she's already engaged to someone else. But I mean, it's all lesbianism, so it's all playing pretend anyways. None of that's real relationships. It's still kind of cringe. So who knows? Maybe she'll make an OnlyFans to try and impress Destiny. That would be funny. But the other fats, they haven't done anything yet. Chantel is being boring. Chantel got blown the fuck out by Jen, so she has to like spend a couple days seething and coping before she can start making new videos. And Jen hasn't done it. Jen never does anything interesting unless it's in proximity to someone else. But day to day, her shit's just fucking awful. And I don't think anything's happened with Sagittarius. She made up with her dad again, I think, which is nice, but no significant drama. She's getting set up again. She's got like these fake. Shawty is sad because she's really desperate for a friend. Her only real friend is also a grown-up who has a child, so she doesn't get to have thought fun with Sagittarius anymore. So Shawty is desperate for a real friend, but she aligns herself with all these fake black girls who just want her for Instagram clout, and they're so obviously like fake friends. And I feel bad for Shawty because she's funny, and that's basically it. She's funny, and she's like very self-aware. Like she realizes that she's really like fat and gross, and that people will take advantage of her. But she allows herself to be taken advantage of because she doesn't think she deserves better. And maybe she doesn't, but it's still sad to see. I don't know anything about Quentin reviews. Stop asking. I'm going to be streaming a year from now, and people are like, "What about Quentin reviews from last year?" I don't know. I don't know anything about him. I don't have any interest in him. I hope he fucking dies. I hope he plays the next order and he sees Reinhard Heydrich kill himself, and he gets so triggered that he then subsequently kills himself because he can't handle that kind of depressing themes in a video game. That's what I wish. Okay. Okay. I think that's it. Talk about the underage grooming in the TNO community. I already mentioned that it's made by trainees. Jim Sterling hasn't done anything, I don't think. He put on another fucking, he put on his wig and did his video. I already covered that. He's just been bitching about JK Rowling and TERFs. And the only thing I can say about that is that I don't know what happened to England. English women have had enough of trannies, is basically what's happening in England. And the TERFs are going to rise up. The J.K. Rowling Dumbledore's army is going to rise up and put all the troons in the Muslim shank prisons and reinstate the Queen as the head authority of the government. And the Queen, she's also a TERF, and she's going to instate TERF world order and outlaw being a tranny and deport all the trannies to someplace shittier than England. I guess Switzerland. She's just going to order all the trannies get loaded up into fucking those planes you jump out of, parachute planes, and just kick them out over the Swiss Alps, and Switzerland's going to be full of trannies. That's the plan. And Jim Sterling is aware of this. He knows of the plan, and he won't stop fucking tweeting about it because he knows he has to stop Dumbledore's army from invading Switzerland. Okay, that's it. I have a cool song, and then I guess I will see you next week. Here. Okay. Bye-bye.
I love you, dude. I love you, but you gotta let me talk.
Highest level military intelligence. Tell me more about it.
Are you waiting for your turn to speak, sir? Are you listening?
Tell me about the highest level military intelligence.
You keep interrupting me.
Because you're lying. You're full of shit. I will not suffer your Q people after this. Because you're lying. You're full of shit. All of it, dude. And I'm sick of it. I'm not knocking people into Q. I'm just telling you. Oh, he's part of a larger thing of Q. Is he Q? I understand magical powers. I'm asking you with your wizard's powers. Oh no, from some small part of the larger Q universe. Chris. We're now learning the secret of Q power. He is a Q priest, is a religion. Q told us that Hillary was in a prison. He's a well-meaning person, but he's a lightweight. Jake the Barbarian, I guess, was his earlier incantation or incarnation. We have Q on the line. Q shaman. Listen, you're a Q wizard. A Q shaman. You are a shamanic wizard. We get that. A Q shaman. Go ahead, Q shaman.
You keep interrupting me.
Because you're lying! You're full of shit! I will not suffer your Q people after this. Because you're lying! You're full of shit! All of it, dude! And I'm sick of it! Q is like people that look at clouds. One sees a giraffe, one sees an elephant. I just know the military intelligence. The almighty Q Lord, and you are his priest. I don't know if he's for real or whether he's hired in a kite. And it's always, oh, there's energy. So you got a bunch of Q-tards into the Capitol. Oh. Q told us that Trump was invincible. You said he was the Messiah. Trump's a regular guy. He's not Jesus Christ. They'll never, when they're wrong, say they're wrong. We have Q on the line. Q shaman. Listen, you're a Q wizard. A Q shaman. You are a shamanic wizard. We get that. A Q shaman. Really? No, you're full of crap.
You keep interrupting me.
Because you're lying. You're full of shit. I will not suffer your Q people after this. Because you're lying. You're full of shit. All of it, dude. And I'm sick of it.
What the fuck, bro?